Recording.
Welcome to Panel's mini episode. I'm Chris,
This is Paul.
and we're back to have a little discussion about how we collect our comics, how we store them, what we do with them, all of that good stuff. Because we need to talk about these things. I know I do, because I know I'm doing it totally wrong, and I don't care. I'm doing it for me. That's what I'm saying. You may have a totally different way of doing it. So that's why we're having this conversation. There might be people out there who don't know. And knowing is half the battle. So Paul has seen my personal collection, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an Instagram live where I'm going to show you guys how my collection looks after I do some work on the Batcave, because I have lived in the Batcave all weekend and had a case of lazyitis. So showing the bat files right now is not going to happen. But once everything gets spruced up, then yeah, we'll show you the bat files. That'll be on Instagram. So check out CP Panels on Instagram for what my collection looks like. But Paul has personally seen and dug through the stacks, as I like to refer to it. What do you think?
It's you have so much that it's overwhelming. It's simply overwhelming. Uh, you know, it's just overwhelming because I start going through and it's just oh oh just uh, you have such a large span of of the over the years, that it's part nostalgia, part excitement over some of the more modern stuff that's going on right now. It's just it's overload. Um, so yeah. Um, but so now you have I think a lot of us comic collectors have different methods. You certainly are very different than I am, um, and I think your method is a bit different than probably the average collector. What's the method to your madness? What's what is your I guess your pattern? What are your patterns? What um do you do you keep DC and Marvel and all the others? Do you keep them separate? What's the 411? What's your method?
Well, basically, what drives me crazy is I'm not the collector that has each comic individually bagged, because I have too many of those. So, and I'm the collector that likes to reread all the time. As far as value and all that stuff, I don't care. Maybe my nieces and nephews, my brothers and sisters are already fighting over my collection. They see a gold mine. I just see entertainment value.
Mm,
So I don't have them individually wrapped. I actually have an example. I buy those big magazine bags, for instance, Detective Comics. This is what I need. I need a huge bag like this where I can stuff hopefully an entire run, or I think I can get like 33 or double sized or whatever. Get that in there. Say this is 934. to 981, all in one spot. That's all of them crammed into this something, or when they reference something in a future issue, I know exactly where to go to get it. Just look for Detective Comics. Now, if I were to individually keep them sealed and wrapped up and stuff, first of all, who has all that space? Secondly, who has the time to go through all of them to find that one issue? Now, I know what you're probably thinking. What's the difference between that and this big, ginormous thing right here? Containment. All I need to know is in here. And plus, whenever I want to reread, I can start at the beginning, 934, and go, if I wanted to the end. Again, one-stop shopping for me. As far as keeping them separate, long boxes, because we do live in Louisiana and we like to collect water as much as comics. I really don't like the whole long box concept. Again, that for this big tome of books, I will fill that up very quickly. So I would have an endless supply of boxes. So what I get is those huge storage containers that Walmart sells. I think it's like a 50-gallon. Let me see.
Rubbermaid
Yeah,
containers.
50-gallon. Yep. And I just stack them. And I have two big, huge ones. It's right behind me, by the way. That's why I keep looking back. I have two big, huge ones. One for all the ones that I collected, and they're okay. I probably won't reread those as much. So I have those in that in one container, and then the other one is the ones I stay in all of the time. Case in point, I've been reading X Factor all weekend. So I've been X Factoring since Friday night. And that came out of the one that I'm looking at right now. So those I reread all of the time. I'm always digging those in and out. So those are piled up in one. The others that I don't read all the time is in the other. And then I have these little collapsible bins on top of those to hold all my frequent reads, meaning I stay with these all of the time as well. And my new comics, which are directly behind me, I have DC in a bin, I have Marvel in a bin, and since I've been doing a lot of back issues, the one in the middle are the back issues that I'm reading through right now. That will either filter to, we're going to reread this again, or okay, we read it, we're done. It'll be in this one when I'm ready for it again.
Now I believe you also keep graphic novels in your collection, whether it's the single floppy issues or the graphic novel, you will store those all together, right?
Yes, because like for instance, Immortal Hulk, I did not get any single issues until 25.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of series like that, I would wait until a lot of them come out and just keep checking the reviews to see if the reviews are good, if there's a dip in quality or what have you. And if it continues to stay up and I keep hearing people talk about it and Paul keeps throwing it in my face, you need to read this. Then it's like, okay, I'm headed to Amazon and, hopefully I can find the first 3 for $40 and then I'll get them. Or I will plot and say, oh, this will be an excellent birthday present or an excellent Christmas present because I did get the first 4 or 5 of Immortal Hulk as a Christmas present last year. Yeah. So then I started getting the singles. So to prevent myself from having to go find that graphic novel, I just throw them all in the bag. That way I can start with issue 1 and tear all the way through to the current one until I fill it up.
So hypothetical question for you. Let's say, you're continuing with your method. You get a third large bin and a fourth large bin, and just et cetera, et cetera. Let's, in your where you're living right now, when you reach peak capacity, um, not anytime, I would estimate not anytime soon, but let's just hypothetical. Let's say you reach that point of capacity. What do you foresee yourself doing? Do you change any of your ways? What do you foresee for that?
Well, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me move some stuff around. It's not too bad in this corner. Got my headphones because you watch TV and listen to music. I multitask. So we're gonna turn the camera. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's my guardian chicken that guards the comics for me. McClucky. But yeah, this is the band that I stay in. If I can move the camera around some more, as you can see, Rogue and Gambit, X-Men Blue. All of this is pretty much X-Men, X-Men Gold, Mr. and Mrs. X, Uncanny, before House of X. Bendis is Uncanny. And then you see the bins on top of those, collapsible. DC, Avengers, X-Men. And the way I have them set up, if I decide to continue on the track that I'm going on, then I'm going to keep building up and get some more bins if I can manage them and kind of stack them.
Yeah.
And then the ones behind me is okay, we read them and we're good. Or the fringe stuff. As you can see, Alpha Flight. I call it an Alpha Flight bug because the North Star and Aurora showing up in X Factor. So I pulled that forward. 80s Justice League, New Titans, Wolverine, old school Excalibur, which I still got to finish reading some of those, and all the bins, Spider-Man. These are where my new comics are. And look, check this out, X Factor. Ha! These are loose because I have torn through these over the weekend. Justice League Dark 25.
Oh yeah.
So these are the new ones. Recently acquired back issues that I need to read. That should go up there. And then these are my new Marvels. Immortal Hulk.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I'm just gonna keep building up.
Okay. So I differ.
Now, if that doesn't work, I will have to get another bin.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but hopefully I can keep building up.
Right. Yeah. So I differ a bit. I think I probably go at least a little bit more traditional. I utilize primarily long boxes and short boxes. I typically keep DC together, Marvel together, each indie, Image, Dark Horse, et cetera. I keep those together, and each, within each, I typically keep alphabetical. The exception is I keep all my X-Men and X-Men related titles separate. I have been growing my Batman enough to the point where I am considering doing the same with Batman. Um, so, um, last time I sorted through, I think pretty much I had one long box full of just Batman titles. So I think I'm gonna yank that out, keep that completely separate, just like I do with X-Men. Um, I keep the majority of mine bagged and boarded. Um, if I don't have, you know, the boards, I would say not, if I get, for example, if I go find like a 50-cent bin sale, um, I don't worry if those have have boards simply because they're probably already dinged up enough that any value they may have had is probably long gone. So I'm not going to invest in getting those bagged and boarded and all nice, uh, nice condition, nice looking, because it's just there's not no value in that. I'd be wasting money. Um, I um, the majority of my collection is in a storage unit right now. Um, I made sure to again, because we live in Louisiana where um, flooding,
We
weather,
collect
and
water.
hurricanes are an issue. I have lost a significant portion of my collection over the years to flooding. Um, so I wanted to make sure when I got a storage unit that it was in the upper level. So I got a unit on the third level of the building. So it gives me a little bit of peace of mind that, the elements hopefully um, will not affect my collection, which is, yeah, it's third level, climate control. Um, I feel good about it being there locked up, but yeah, the space in my living arrangements right now just was, I was running out of space. Um, so I needed to uh, to find something to free up space, and that's why I keep the majority of mine in a storage locker. Um,
Now I do have a question
okay.
because you are separate from yours. Me, it's in my room. So I can just easily walk across the room and pluck something out. How are you dealing with your comics being away from
Yeah.
home?
No. Well, it's been a little over a month now, and yeah, there is some definite uh, separation anxiety. Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, Luckily, right now, my read stack is exceedingly large, so maybe I'm not feeling the full force of that. If I were caught up on everything, I might be in more of a, you know, I don't know what I'd probably be freaking out over not having anything to read. But it's in a nearby location that would only take me a matter of minutes to get there, uh, and go uncover whatever I, am itching to read. Um, but yeah, so yeah, long boxes, short box. I keep everything primarily bagged and boarded. I do keep my graphic novels separate from my floppies, the single issues. I typically like to keep my graphic novels on a bookshelf. Now the majority of my graphic novels, those I all have at home on a bookshelf. Um, and so there is at least a large library of those if I want to do some rereading. Um, so those are at least available to me, readily available. Um, as far as why I keep everything bagged and boarded, um, I will, I am not, I wouldn't say I don't primarily collect for the value. Number one is for my personal reading enjoyment. Number two, is to share that with my my friends, my family, um, anyone in my circle that I can share that with. And after that, then I do, you know, care about the value. I don't collect for for the value, but if I happen to see, oh, I have something. Look at that! I have something that is worth a good chunk of change. I do feel a little bit of excitement for that when it presents itself, but I don't necessarily hunt that down. Would I probably, I think as my collection grows over the years, now I may in the near future start pursuing that a little bit more. But I'm not there yet. There's a lot of holes that I want to fill in some of the collections I'm trying to put together. I want to put together a nice solid run of Uncanny X-Men. There's some Batman and Detective Comics that I want to put together nice solid runs of. And once I get those notches on my belt, then I think I might, focus on some first appearances, key issues, some of the more valuable type kind of stuff. But that's in the future. That's down the road. It's I keep that in my mind, but it's not number one or even number two. Um, what about uh, you know having such a large collection, and your collection is much larger than mine. Um, what are some things that you use to keep track? How do I think we both use the same app, the CLZ Comics app.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think
Yeah, it's the CLZ Comics app. We'll put the phone right there so you can see this beautiful thing. This beautiful creation. Y'all need to go out and get this. It's
yeah,
worth, what is it, 14, 15 bucks?
yeah, I think $15 for a yearly subscription. Um, and it does have
It's worth it.
it does have a free trial also. I think the free trial version stores up to 100 comics, I believe it was. Uh, which I mean, I it took me 5 minutes to hit the limit on the free trial. So um,
It didn't take
yeah,
me that long.
no. Yeah, we're both, I believe, relatively new to this app, but just in the year or so that we've used it, I know this has been a lifesaver for me. Um, when I'm out and about, if I'm going to a shop, whether it's local or elsewhere, in my pocket on my phone, I've got my complete inventory with me. You know, um, I have enough in my collection at this point that I don't instantly know, if I pull one out, if I have it or not. But with the app, the CLZ Comics app, I do. I just pull it up and see if I have it. And if I do, I don't have to buy it again. If I don't have it, it's a find. Um, yeah, this is, and I would love to at some point give it a full review, but I am not ready for that simply because I know there are more facets to it that I'm not familiar with yet. You can, I, I know
But
you,
just with the basic usage, check this out. I don't know if y'all can see that. I had no idea I had that many. It was like 540 series. So it's like I have that many comics, and it has it all alphabetized, and it shows you all the series. I don't know if you guys can see that. Case in point, I'm satisfied with what I have for Avengers Volume 1, but this is what I'm dealing with, if y'all can see that. So if I'm out and about and there's an issue and it's like, do I need that issue? I can easily bring up the app and see what exactly do I need.
Yeah.
So it is an amazing app. Definitely if you're collecting, whether you're starting out or you've been in the game for a minute. I wish I had this a long time ago. I would have saved myself a lot of money.
And
Because I had bought a lot of dupes and trips and quads and ugh.
it's really surprising too that just the amount of titles that they have on there. There are things in my collection that I was like, no way is this going to be in their inventory, and it was. I think out of my collection, I think there have only been it's either 4 or 5 items that I could not find. Is seriously low. I mean, we're talking like there was like 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say General Mills had like a promotion with DC Comics, and they had a series of 4 little mini comics that they had in their boxes of cereal. And I was like, no way is it going to have all of these. And yes, I did eat enough cereal to get all 4 of them. But yeah, they
I
were,
believe it, Palactus.
yeah, even those were on the app. I was like, no way is this going to have this in it, and it did. Um, so yeah, it's very surprising that they definitely um, do their extensive research and load everything into their app. So it's this is a lifesaver for my collection. I am so glad I found it. And when my year comes up, I am absolutely going to renew. I don't see myself changing format just simply because it takes a while to load that up. I mean, it's not a long process for the majority of the titles. The scan feature, you just scan the barcode, and it'll pop it right up. It
Yeah, I do that with my new ones.
Mhm. Yeah, some of the older from, you know, seems like the 90s through current times scan the best. Anything from the 80s and before, it's a little hit or miss, but it's still, the search function is still very works very well, that you can just a very quick search and you can find what you might have, and load it into your collection.
I also found that if you can't find something in there, you may have to word it a little differently and it'll pull up.
Mm,
I know there was some that's like, okay, it's not in here. I found some that's not cataloged.
yeah,
But then by typing in something else, it popped up and it's like, well, no, here it is. So you may have to tweak how you search, use different keywords,
right.
but 9 times out of 10, it's somewhere in there in that huge database of theirs.
Yeah.
But most definitely CLZ, Charlie Larry Zootopia. Comics app. Y'all need to go get that. Spend the $20.
Yeah.
I'm rounding up. It's worth it. It'll help you, and you'll be completely shocked at how many comics you actually have. Because I had no idea I had that much until it tallied everything, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Is there
Knew it was
any
heavy moving it. Well, I never knew paper could weigh so much, but yeah, that was a lot of paper.
Well, is there anything else that is unique or um, what any other facets to how you store or keep your collection?
Well, I do have a question for you
Okay.
because when we trade and borrow comics, was it intimidating getting this thrown at you?
Oh no, no, because you know I plow through. I am Palactus.
I think I brought you like three
Oh
of Hickman Avengers
yeah, no,
at one
hey,
point.
I I am Paul Actus, the devourer of comics. So no, it is not it was not intimidating at all. It was more, oh, I'm in heaven. Somebody is is sating my hunger.
Y'all have no idea when he first saw the whole spread, because all of my comics are in a corner. When he first saw it, he didn't know what to do. He
Overload.
was just standing there, and it's like, you can't sit, you can move things. It's okay. And I would leave and come back, and he'll still just be standing there.
It was part overload. It was also, you know, while I know we're on the same level as, we have that mutual understanding of, this is valuable to you. I respect it. I treat it with as if it were my own. But there's still that little bit of hesitation where I know if it's my collection, I wouldn't want just anybody to, if I walked into my room and I saw somebody just, perusing through, I'd be, whoa, whoa, whoa. So there's that little bit of holding back because I want to respect, something that I know is valuable, valuable to you.
The only time I will get bent out of shape is if you were taking the books and doing this with it.
Mm.
Oh, that was really good. And did you see this part right here? It's like, okay, you need to leave.
Privileges revoked.
That
Yeah.
there be fighting words.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, there's
I don't even do that, and I purchased them. That right there is gonna be a fight.
yes. Yeah.
You're not gonna like me no more. I'm sorry. Not sorry, but it's definitely going to be a fight. But yeah, that's why I collect them the way I do. I collect to read and for entertainment purposes. And if they do it, that was a big deal. Oh, I have a comic that's $300 right now. Like first appearance of Gambit. Oh my God, I'm gonna sell it and get a new car. Now it's just like I had the first appearance of Gambit.
which
Cool.
yeah. No, it is, that is that's one of probably one of my top 10 Uncanny X-Men covers. That's just such a beautiful cover. And you don't out for first appearances, you rarely see right, bold and beautiful on the cover, a first appearance, like that. So that was, really cool. I do not have that issue. I do have the facsimile edition, which for now is
I said
good.
we had the facsimile.
Yeah,
Close enough.
yeah, close for now, close enough. If I ever see it, a good deal on it, maybe I'll splurge someday, but not today, not tomorrow.
The important thing is I don't have that hole in
Yeah,
my collection. So if I were to tear through all of my Uncanny, I don't have to worry about skipping
yeah,
and going to the next issue. I can just tear right on through. which is the goal for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered quite a bit in this special episode. And to our viewers, we want to hear from you. How do you store your collection? What apps, what tools, what do you use to keep track of what you collect? Do you use a notebook? Do you do you just throw it all in a corner and let it sit there after you've read it? What do you do? What do you like to what are some of the unique things that you keep your collection stored in? Do you display? Do you keep your key issues out and display them on your walls or your bookcases? We want to hear. Um, is there anything else you have to add, Chris? All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Again, we want to hear what you have to say. Leave us a comment. Uh, give us a like. Give us a thumbs down if you really have to. Hit that subscribe button.
It's okay. It's all right.
We can handle it. We're adults. We can take that constructive criticism
Some of the time.
some of the time. But yeah, and check out our Instagram page, CP Panels. We'll be posting some pictures when we post this video. Let you take a look at our how we keep our collection. And with that, we're out. Take it easy.